From a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes
Radio! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to From the Ashes. Really? I'm not sure how to get you there then. Hey folks, can you hear us? How do we sound? All the important stuff. I am obviously broadcasting from a super secret location deep within the mountains in one of our safe houses. When you click on Chrome, there's no StreamYard. Oh, what is that? Robin One Shot. Device is not connected. Oh, add to stage. Oh, I think we figured something out. Oh, look at him. That is a handsome young man. And he's got something figured out. Man.
Are we good?
I mean, you are. You look good. Hey, wrong seat.
No, mine's still fucked up.
What the heck, man?
No, this thing's on. Stop.
What's the point of getting down the seat?
Oh, you wait. You wait till you hear what I do to this thing.
You better not. I just had the butt groove on that thing. Just got comfortable with it.
Dude, I'm going to do one of them parties that itches when it dries on your sheet.
This is trash. Anyway. Well, glad you're here, man. And you look good, too. Oh, and Brandon says that we sound great, too. Well, that's the important part, Brandon. So
hey, you're not here. I'm running things.
So everything's
I don't know if you folks know, but I'm pretty good with technology and devices and such.
And you're in my damn seat.
I am. Oh, man. I'm going to do something dirty with this.
Get off my seat, man. Anyway,
I have not prepared anything, folks. Nothing. I don't even know. I haven't looked at the schedule. I literally, for those of you who don't know, I was pulling my driveway at like 5:58. So
that's how good you are.
Superman. I have thigh huggers on. I have my combat Crocs on. Good socks. Ready to roll.
Well, you are. You did good.
How was your week?
You ready for this? I love that you put the mic immediately in front of your face.
I had to adjust it. Look, if it's one or the other, either I know the little fuzzies are by my nose, or I'm all over.
You realize some listeners are throwing shit at the radio right now because you've got the microphone there. I don't even know how to do that.
There's a couple of them in particular that it bothers that makes me happy inside, just knowing that this pisses them off.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So good job on the home defense, man. And hey, here I am in the safe house, so we're good to go. We're ready to broadcast in just a little while. We're gonna have Kelly from Comeback Yoga. It's gonna be awesome. We got to go through and check a few blocks first. Should we actually bring Kelly on for some of the bullshit, like Carl and whatnot?
Well, you have everything lined up, right? We got no prep. I require prep.
I feel like I should bring Kelly on and let her participate with because she sent me some stuff today that kind of broke my heart a little bit. Kelly, I see you sitting in the green room. Do you want to come on and play a little early? Well, thumbs up. All right. Kelly, welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. So glad you are here. Thank you for taking time away from your Monday nights. Yes, my hetero life made us here, but he is frozen solid for whatever reason. But whatever.
I think it's for the best. It's fine. I have Liz here, so my kitty. So it's fine. We're both in.
Oh, did you say for the best?
So that's who I am as a person.
Maybe it's for the best. I'm not silenced. I'm just frozen in the video.
Well, that's said it.
That's the first guest we've had that had the gumption to open up talking smack to me. I open up talking smack to our guests all the time.
Well, I think it's because the first one. She sees all the emails between you and Cole is why.
Yeah, this is just who I am as a person.
That's awesome. All right, Kelly. So we start every show, and Seth, I'm getting your text messages. Yes, you sound like the voice of an angel. I have no idea why your camera is freezing. Kelly, we start every show with something called Carl, Combat Carl. And for if you don't, are you familiar with what Carl is? You do, you get it. So you understand what Carl is. All right. So let me pull up the story here because I just love this one. This comes from our friends with Task and Purpose. So Navy fires captain of USS John S. McCain for loss of confidence. Hey, folks, does that sound familiar? Do we remember why we know the captain of the USS John McCain? The Navy fired the commanding officer of the USS John McCain for what it terms as loss of confidence in his ability to command the guided missile destroyer. One shot, have they ever fired anyone for any other reason besides loss of confidence?
I don't think so.
I think that's the answer they always give. Long story short, folks, do you guys remember the picture that was made famous probably 6-8 months ago? And it showed the Navy guy shooting a rifle off of the deck of his ship, and the scope was flipped around backwards. Kelly's nodding. She remembers it. You got to unmute yourself, boss lady. You remember that?
I was muted because my cat is grooming herself in the microphone. Yeah, no, I remember that video. My SF guy sent it to me.
Yeah. Can you? I don't know your history with shooting and guns and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on a farm, so I've definitely shot weapons before, but I was just gifted a one-on-one like 6-month course to a shooting range, which I'm super antisocial, so one-on-one is perfect for me.
One shot, have you ever slapped an optic on backwards and tried to pull the trigger?
Only before I handed to you to watch this scope. No, I mean, even young Private Rodenbaugh didn't do that stuff. Not many do. It only takes a split second to realize things are backwards. They don't work.
I'd love to know what it looked like. I mean, I've never tried that. I want to know what he was seeing through that optic.
The wrong
Not the
thing.
same thing if you look the other way. Very different.
I love
Try
that
it
they
out.
fired him for loss of confidence, though.
Yeah, dude.
Kelly,
I
I
have a
think
lack
you're
of
a dog.
confidence in him too. I have a lack in confidence.
What did you say?
In the leadership to put him there in the first place.
Oh, agreed. Well, I mean, so let's say you're a Navy captain of a boat. I mean, and your armor hands you a rifle and says, "Here you go, sir. You know, targets are out there." I mean, you've got you're in charge of 1,000 soldiers, sailors, excuse me.
Looking through it.
Yeah, I mean, do you now hand it back to that armorer and be like, "Hey, dumbass, can't see anything through this"?
You would hope so, right? I would want someone to hand it back to me and be like, "You're messing this up. You need to do it right."
You know,
but maybe that's the difference between me and that person. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it looks like that short second might have cost him his job. You don't see any of these messages, do you, on YouTube? Mad Medic, yes, we see your messages. Don't lie. He sounds like he's talking into a tin can. Yes, he does. Actually, Seth, your microphone, I don't know if it's like not in front of your face or what, but you do sound a little silly.
No, I'm like right on.
For what if it counts, I can't understand him at all.
Most of us don't understand when One Shot talks.
Fair enough. I can't really hear him at all. Does that help? I don't have any idea what he's ever talking about, but hearing him is a problem.
Yes, his audio is not as glorious as it normally is. He does not have the voice of an angel like he normally does.
Now he sounds like he's talking into a tin can, talking into a sock into a tin can.
Do you? Well, yeah. Well, we call those mic covers or mic condoms, but yeah. Did you break something? Now it sounds like he's talking into a. Yeah. Did you break something there, One Shot, at the home base? I'm going to assume that he did.
Yep. He did. Anyway, you asked me something and I didn't catch it. What was it?
I thought you were a dog people.
Oh, I'm just an animal person. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. As long as it's not people in my house, I love them.
That we can get behind that. We can very much get behind that and
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah. How are your big puppies?
Hairy and shedding, so which is odd because yeah. Well, so I don't know if you know, but one of those big puppies comes from One Shot's litter.
Oh.
So he has two of our staff dogs are Rambo and Marshmallow, and they're awesome. Rambo gives the best hugs. Anyone wants to come find out, you should definitely find out. But yeah, we have one of their puppies. So
that's so sweet. Big dogs are the best.
Gigantic. She's huge.
Yeah. I had a Saint Bernard, and she was the most perfect creature that ever walked this planet. I love my little dogs. I do, but there's nothing like a big dog.
This dog is often mistaken for a Saint Bernard. But yeah, she's
Half
adorable.
People are dumb, but
well, yeah, no question. no question there. That's awesome. Yes, they are. But yes, yeah. And he's got a what do you call it? A herd out there at the super secret location. So yeah, there's dogs and cats and ducks and chickens and.
Also, can you guys hear me now?
Oh, a little.
A little. Let me see if I turn this up. I'm back on my mic, and I think it's working.
Oh, are you? You're trying to mess with your microphone? Oh, that's cool. Well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mad Medic says LOL. So yeah, you must be better. What do you call it? But yeah, dude, I can't imagine. There's so many great things going on. So many combat Carls. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think that guy was fired unjustly? One Shot?
Absolutely not.
You think he should have been aware?
Look, here's the fucking deal. If you're so stupid, you're gonna look through an optic backwards for an opposing one. Like, you shouldn't be operating multi-million-dollar fucking piece of Warcraft, right? Like, those are the sort of people that you don't get to make mistakes.
Much less very public ones that get put on the front cover times.
Real quick, who posted that picture originally?
Who posted it? I think it was the Navy Times, wasn't it?
I think so.
No.
I think so.
Who originally posted that picture? Did he put that on his IG? Did his private put that on his IG?
I'm not sure.
Like, how did it come to surface? I would really like to know. I still would like to know, like, how it was found.
Yeah. Well, or how it got. Well, I mean, it got published publicly, and that's when it was discovered that the optic was backwards.
Right.
Because people like you and I were like, dude, what's up, man?
I mean, I think that, if I did my job that poorly, I would hope something would happen to me, or my staff, if they did something that wrong, they would certainly know about it, but, I'm not dealing with, like he said, multi-million-dollar weapons.
Yeah, it's so certain industries I feel like are a little bit different. Certain positions inside of it are a little bit different. If you are the dude that has to answer to all problems to that sort of thing, you're the dude that doesn't answer. You can't, especially something like that. And what I'm really thinking about is I really want to find out if it was originated by like him posting like, here's my sweet cool guy picture. And
That's a great question.
That makes it worse. That's why I want to know
that.
It makes it way worse. Did this picture come to light because he was taking a cool guy picture?
Well, or is that some malicious compliance? Like, did his armor?
That's why I said, or did the private post it on his Instagram? He took of his boat captain, and he thought it was hilarious because he got him and took, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You never know. That could totally
Navy's
change the
version
entire
of
concept.
Mafia took him down.
Yep.
Well, and how many people even realized something was wrong? Because in my email string that it got sent to me, because, their army, they were making fun of the Navy, was, what's wrong with this picture? So then I have an email string of like, other than the Navy uniform, and then it's, it's backwards. But I think how many people even noticed until, like he said, maybe it was on his IG and then maybe it went, no one noticed.
I bet you all the Army guys and all the men.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with that. I'll absolutely go with that. Well, anyway, so Kelly, thank you we don't normally get our guests to participate with us with Combat Carl. So thank you for participating. We really appreciate it.
Thanks
Ladies
for
and
letting me
gentlemen,
in.
this is our good friend Kelly with Comeback Yoga. If you've listened to the show for more than 36 seconds, you know that we are huge advocates for Comeback Yoga. Seth even opened his business for Comeback Yoga. So we are a huge advocate for Comeback Yoga. Kelly, welcome to From the Ashes. Let's start at the beginning. We've got you for a little while. So let's start at the beginning. Tell us about the birth of Comeback Yoga and how you came to be a part of it.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I love your guys' show, so it's always a privilege. And I'm sorry Seth isn't here. So, Comeback Yoga was born in 2014, which, if you're good with your maths, this is our 10th year, which is huge for a nonprofit to reach. So I just want to say that we're super proud of being around for 10 years. But in 2014, our co-founders, the Timballs, who were both scientists, they did their 200-hour yoga teacher training, which you have done. And a lot of times in that training, you have to do a service project as part of your certificate. And Ned Timball did his service in the post-traumatic stress disorder unit. They use disorder, I don't, at the VA. It ain't a disorder. It's your body doing the right thing at the right time.
We're on the same page. Keep talking.
Yep. And so he did his service in the PTSD unit at the VA. And, you know, these guys, because it was guys, routinely during his classes gave a 4.7 or above out of 5, which, if you're trying to please a veteran, that is extremely high level of, you know, they were very excited. They loved the class and it was getting really good ratings. So at the end of his service and the class, they asked if, hey, would you be interested in doing this some more? And boom, his brain went off. He started doing the research. Because it's not just something cute that we do, right? It's scientifically backed. It's research backed. And Comeback Yoga was born. And it started out with Margot and Ned teaching a lot of classes, a lot in the VA. And then, you know, they had friends who became yoga teachers and they brought on board. And it was just kind of this little grassroots thing that kept growing because the need was growing. And then I came on board as the first and only employee in 2017 as the program director. And when I started, we had about 17 classes per week, and we were working with like 10 teachers, I believe. And since then, it's just continued to grow. So now, pre-COVID, we had a lot more classes, especially in the VA system. But we really decided to focus on quality over quantity. So right now we offer about 40 classes a week. We work with about 50 yoga instructors, such as yourself. And we don't have a studio. We're not that kind of yoga. We go to where the military community is already in existence and already comfortable and knows where to park. So we do still have some classes at the VA, though they don't play ball as well as they used to. We work at Fort Carson, Buckley, Peterson, the armories. You know, we're jujitsu. Do you call it a jujitsu studio? What do you call it?
Academy.
You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want, boss.
Okay. But we go to where the military is already comfortable. They already have their community, and then we just build on that community. So, and this year, because our tagline is serving the military where they are, we don't take that lightly. And so this year, Cole, my colleague, and I went into 4 correctional facilities and worked with 48 incarcerated veterans. And
tell us some more about that. We want to know more about that.
Okay. So, can I tell you the whole backstory? Because it's really interesting, actually. And you know Brian. And
your platform.
Okay, great. Yay. I should have my own radio show. Okay.
I agree completely.
So when COVID hit, I listened to this podcast called Ear Hustle. So if you don't know, Ear Hustle is like rumor gossip in prison. So I listened to this podcast called Ear Hustle, and it's based in San Quentin in California. And they were talking about how these guys are on lockdown 24 hours a day because of COVID, and they have like 3 TV stations. And I was like, oh man, I bet Colorado is having the same issue. So I was like, I can fix this, because we used to have a TV show on PBS. So I'd be walking through the grocery store and people would be like, I've seen you on PBS. I was famous for a minute.
Well, now 2 minutes.
Now 2 whole minutes. And so I asked PBS if they would download onto DVDs, because that's how the Department of Corrections works, all of our seasons. And they did, and it got passed through DOC. And so one of the stations that Department of Corrections folks got to watch was Comeback Yoga. So then I start getting kites. Kites are letters from prison, from these veterans. And one in particular, his name is Matthew. And he was like, this is amazing. How do I get involved? I want to be a yoga teacher. And he just kept sending letters. And eventually we started talking on the phone, trying to figure out something. And the guy went through with his 200 hour while he's incarcerated. And we just kept pushing from there. And in 2024, we finally got the go ahead from DOC to offer workshops. And so we did 2 variations. Both were 20 hours. So that worked out to about 2 full days, 8 to 5 in the prison, because these were all in person. So, and no prison is close to civilization, right? So we were driving everywhere. But one was intro to yoga. So this is like, I've never done yoga. Yoga is stupid. I hate yoga, but I want to get out of my cell for a day. Yeah, exactly. I want to get out of my cell for a day, so I'll sign up for this. And the other workshop that we offered was specifically for Trinidad Correctional Facility, because they down there have a 200-hour yoga teacher training. And they have an instructor who comes in from Trinidad, trains these fellas up. And for them, we did our 20-hour trauma-informed yoga teacher training. So now they are fully capable of teaching trauma-informed yoga to their fellow incarcerated community. And then when they get out, they can audition for us to become comeback yoga teachers.
Now, I know that your typical yoga instructor is not a rich person. However, what you have done is, based on my friend group,
yeah.
What you have now done is you have given them an employable skill for when they get out.
100%. We've given them an employable skill. They have certification. We've already been asked for letters of reference, which we've written. And they also have a community, right? Because it's similar. These guys are already veterans, so they've lost that community when they got out. And then when you've been in prison, that's your community. So then you get out, now you've lost that. So they've already got another built-in community of folks that they can rely on, and they can come to our trainings. We, as you know, we provide free training to our instructors. That's why our instructors are, I think, the best in the game. They get training in accessible yoga, trauma-informed yoga, brain science, military sexual trauma, post-traumatic stress, you name it. And so they can also take part in those. And Department of Corrections, it's a state thing, right? So it's not easy to work with. But we were allowed to do surveys before the class and after, kind of asking, hey, rate your most difficult symptom, whatever they think it is. It's headaches, great. If it's rage, great. You rate your own. And then at the end, they did the same thing. And then they also were super kind and let some of the guys do a video. And I'm saying guys because we were in 3 male facilities and only 1 female facility, and that female facility didn't allow us to do videos. I'm not being sexist. It was just mostly men that we were working with.
Wrong show for that.
I know. Well, and it was working in the 2 prisons was very interesting to see the difference. But anyway, they allowed them to do videos, and it's really impactful because you have one of the guys saying, oh, I can work with people better because I now understand my own trauma and where it's coming from, because we did brain science, where it's coming from. But I also can give people grace because I understand where their trauma is coming from. And I would say the thing that hit Cole and I the hardest was when, he was just an older guy. He was just an older guy, been in for a long time. And he stood up in front of his veteran group and just said, if I'd known this, I wouldn't be in here.
Yeah.
Because you learn how to regulate your nervous system. You learn that you can have some control, some agency of your body, of your experiences. Your experiences don't have to rule you. And to be given that power when everything's been stripped away from you, to say, if I would have known this, I wouldn't be in here after 30 some years in prison. So it's not just yoga.
By far. So we got a couple of great listeners. Troy Lutman, James Davis is here, Nathan Hucker, Brandon Bartlett, all are listening. And I think we're about to get rebroadcast on WTF Moments. Yeah. Who doesn't love that? You're about to get even more famous, Kel. Anyway, all veterans, all excellent people, all who have served, all watching this right now going, yoga? Why the fuck would I want to be interested in yoga? I have zero interest in yoga. I ain't doing that bullshit. Kelly, talk us through why yoga is so important for the veteran community.
Yeah, and you're one of those skeptics, and I'm also one of those skeptics. I thought it was bullshit, and I took it for credit in college because it looked easy, right? And I didn't try it again until my mental health was in the garbage and I had no other options. So you have your yoga journal and your Lululemon that has put this idea of Western yoga into our brains, of crop tops and leggings and a bun on your head. And while you guys may love that vision,
I wear all that stuff. Yeah,
I know, but it's not real. It's not what yoga is made for. It's not to look cute. It's not to be flexible, touch your toes. That's just such bullshit. I think Cole says, it's not about flexibility. It's about stability. You can gain control of your breath by doing breath work. You can, like I said, learn how to control your nervous system. I was debating what to say in this interview, actually, while I was taking a shower earlier. But if it wasn't for learning to do an extended exhale, so an inhale for 4, an exhale for 6, if I did not learn how to do that because I had to teach it to veterans, I'd be in trouble with the law. I have an extremely bad temper. I have tons of anxiety. So if I didn't know that, I wouldn't be able to really function as a person. And I've told stories where one of my soldiers was about to make a decision that you can't take back. His family was out of town. He thought it was a good time. And he heard my voice after yoga for 4 years in his head saying, breathe, just breathe. And he said, I'll give you 1 minute, Kelly. And if you don't change my mind after 1 minute, I got nothing else. And he pulled me after class. Actually, his command sergeant major came over and said, hey, you need to stick around after class. And I was like, all right. And sure enough, soldier walks me to my car and tells me the story. And he said, I thought that this was complete bullshit. But if I didn't have your voice and this breathing tool, my kid wouldn't have a dad. So I understand the idea that all these white woman stereotypes have put into our minds. But that's not what we're doing at Comeback Yoga. We're teaching on drill floors. We're teaching in VA conference rooms. We're at jujitsu we're breaking down every barrier. We're providing the math. We're providing the blocks. It's completely free to you. It's online. It's on YouTube. You don't want to go out so your buddies don't see you trying yoga for the first time. Do it on YouTube.
Top in your leggings.
Exactly.
With your bum.
We're making it as accessible as possible. And so when you show up to class, it could be your first time or it could be your 50th time. It doesn't matter. You can't be good at yoga. Being flexible doesn't make you good at yoga. Being good at yoga means you show up to your mat and you listen to your body. Does it say, oh shit, I'm really anxious and I need to breathe? So then you breathe? Or does it say, I haven't slept in 5 days. I'm going to lay here and listen to her voice and go to sleep. All those things are fine in our classes.
Yep.
And then you build the community, right? You build the community of friends where you go get tacos after class or you go have a coffee after class. You know, I'm taking one of our veterans to get a hip replacement. We're not just yoga. We are a community. We are here for the people who need us.
Well, that's wow. A hip replacement? That's impressive.
Yeah, well, us single people, we don't have people to take us. So we band together and we take each other to get hip replacements.
As you know, I am the loudest advocate for comeback yoga for a variety of reasons. The things that I have learned in that, you know, in my 200-hour yoga teacher training, I've been able to apply in life, and they have by all means absolutely not just saved me, but saved those around me and done amazing things for those around me. I mean, I can't even imagine being a veteran, walking into a yoga class and seeing our boy Jimmy standing up there at the front of the class and being like, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, but that's the cool thing, right? Because we do have people like Jim who like ride a motorcycle, beard down to his belly button. We have people like you. We have people like Brian. We have Dan. We have female veterans. You know, we have Allie. We have all these people because I think we're up to like over 40% now of our teachers are veterans. And it's over 90% the last little survey we did where we're all members of the military community, spouse, daughter, son, whatever it may be. But yeah, and you'll know one of the things that we have as part of our curriculum is military cultural competency. So you walk into, even if you're not a veteran and you want to teach for us, you better learn the difference between the branches. You better learn that there's going to be jokes about the chair force. You better learn all these things because it's important. You know how if you go to a country, you learn how to say hello and goodbye and thank you. We're going onto your turf. We're going to learn some of your lingo, you know?
So I know you had a huge fundraiser yesterday.
Oh my gosh,
I'd
yes.
love to have gotten you on before that, but I mean, still, we were able to kind of pimp it a little bit on our channel,
Awesome.
and I hope you had a good turnout.
It was great. It was so good. And John Evans, he's his stage name is Stand-in Evans, and he's on Spotify. He just dropped an album, but he played again at our summer concert series yesterday. And last year he was the opener, and this year he was the headliner, which was so cool. And he's a Army combat medic who's seen too much, and you know, he got our scholarship, became a teacher. Now he works at the VA, and through his work at the VA, he's got our classes in the chronic pain and wellness. So we're working with those people.
I remember when he was the guest speaker at the fundraiser.
He was.
Not a dry eye in the house.
Oh my gosh, he was a speaker, and then he played that song for his buddy. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yes,
yeah.
It was. So a lot of people are listening. I know you've got a bunch of events coming up in October and November, or excuse me, September and October. October 11th at O'Brien Park, folks. Come on out. But you've got a bunch of events coming up, the community building things. You want to talk about some of those events a little bit?
Yes, I'm going to talk about, can I talk about the fundraiser first, just so I can kind of get it off my chest?
It's your radio, lady. You talk about whatever you want.
So I'm the executive director, right? So I have to do all the money making, which is the least fun thing to do, but it's important. So on October 23rd, we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary. So at 8 a.m. at Coors Field, where our name is going to be on the scoreboard. And we have a whole box suite because the Rockies are super supportive of the military. 8 a.m. is our big breakfast fundraiser. And we have a clinician who was in the PTSD unit when Comeback Yoga first started, and brought our program in. So we have him speaking. We have a female veteran speaking. We have videos from our past 10 years. And then we also have a video featuring Rob and our other teacher, Jim. And so they're going to be featured in our video, talking about the importance of Comeback Yoga. And yeah, it's from 8 to 9 at Coors Field. We have a yoga class then at Coors Field starting at 9:15, I believe. And
on the grass,
we're trying. We're trying for the warning track. We're really trying for it. And I'm just, we have to raise money. We have to raise money. We're a small nonprofit. It's 2 full-time employees and a part-time employee. And then we have to pay 50 teachers because they deserve it. And it's not for sale, but if you donate, I will sell it to you. But it's a fundraiser, right? We have to raise a lot of money because we have to keep doing things. When we have increased our attendance more than 20% since COVID, and that's with fewer classes, okay? So the need is growing, and we set out, last year we had just under 15,000 student hours, and we set out for really small growth this year because we're such a small staff and we're at capacity, but we accidentally are gonna hit maybe over 20,000 student hours. And that's just because our classes are growing so much, and we have a waiting list that we can't actually put into action because we can't afford to pay the people that teach it. So we have about 7 classes on our waiting list right now across Colorado, Western Slope, that we need to raise the money to get those classes, so it's a big fundraiser. It's super important. If you're interested, you can go to comebackyoga.org and go to the events page. And that would be super helpful. You can always donate as well at comebackyoga.org if you can't make the breakfast. But I would recommend, don't you think the breakfast is a really good way to understand what Comeback Yoga is kind of all about?
Absolutely. I can't recommend it enough. I was a little heartbroken to hear that it was going to be at Coors Field because I love Denver Botanical Gardens so much.
I know.
But I know we're expanding and things need to happen.
Well, and I'll just be dead honest. Coors Field is cheaper.
What? Really?
Deadly honest. That's honestly, yeah. We're holding it at Coors Field because it's so much cheaper, and they were so willing to work with us because we support the military.
I was not prepared for that, but okay.
I wasn't either. I was not either. So, yeah. So, I mean, that just goes to show we're not trying to just spend your money willy-nilly. We're hunting the best bargain. But so that's our big fundraiser that's coming up. And if you want to see that video of Rob, you have to come, Nicholas.
Hatchet will be there. Don't you worry. Hatchet lives in Texas, but he'll be up. And don't worry, we're gonna drag his ass to Coors Field.
Wonderful. I love that. So the other events that we have, because I was talking about Comeback Yoga not just being about yoga, is we're doing this series called Yoga and Camaraderie. And it's basically come for the class, stay for the party, stay for the community. So the first one is Wednesday, September 18th. And so yoga is from 4:30 to, can't be right. 4:30 to 5:30. And then the hangout, which we're providing refreshments and everything for, starts at 6:30. So, and that is at the VA Loveland Clinic. So that's the first one, September 18th. Go for the yoga. It starts at 4:30. Hang out with everybody, get a free beverage, and learn about the other people that do yoga. We're not promoting us. We're just there to hang out. Then September 22nd, this one's in the Springs where we have a really large presence. This one is yoga starts at 9:30, goes for an hour, and then the hangout happens after that, so until 11:30. That is at Mount Carmel.
Excellent organization.
Yeah. So
We love
hopefully a lot of people have access to that. And then do you want to push the last one?
The last one is October 11th. That'll be at O'Brien Park in Parker, Colorado. Yoga is from 5:30 to 6:30. And then, we're cracking open bottles of water and iced tea immediately afterwards. And you're going to
you're the teacher.
Huh?
And you're the teacher.
Yes, I will be teaching it.
There you go. There's the selling point.
That's the selling point. My favorite part about Comeback is, yes, it's yoga for veterans where we are, things like that. I love when family members come to my class, and family members of service members and kids, older kids, the 11 and above and whatnot, come and they participate, and you get to learn a little bit. Hearing them talk about their veteran afterwards, that's where I kind of like get mushy. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, because you hear things like, oh my gosh, he's such a better husband. Oh, he's such a better father. She's such a better mother. She's so much more present. The house is so much calmer. You hear things like that, and that's life-changing, dude. Like, that. Like, to have
driving.
Yes, they're not screaming and yelling and having road rage every time we're in the car together. Yes.
We are
and family members are always
terrible
welcome.
Drivers. The left lane is not where you live. Relax. Slide over a couple of lanes.
That takes a while to learn.
It does. 2 years. I mean, absolutely it does.
Well, it's drilled into you, right? That defensive driving. So it's understandable. But, they spend, I was reading a Time article because I'm working on this fundraiser, and we're so good at prepping our soldiers, sailors, airmen to go to war. And, we break them down, we reprogram them, and we make them into this machine. And then when it's time for them to get deprogrammed and taken back apart and made into this person that's suitable for civilian life, you'll be fine. Good luck. Have fun. I just don't understand that, so it's our job to take that on ourselves, to say, you were damn good at that job. Now let's make you damn good at this job of just being a dad, a wife, a member of the community.
No, absolutely no question. That does well done and very, very well said. Very well said. So there are a lot of people listening right now who are like, damn, I really want to try yoga. Or someone that's like, hey, I've done yoga a bunch of times. I have a lot of friends that have done like, hey, I've been doing yoga a lot. Do you need more instructors? Do you need more? How can people support? Do you need help with stuff? Do you need people to file paperwork? Do you need yoga teachers? Do you need yoga studios? What does Comeback need?
Great. So first and foremost, Comeback Yoga needs more money to hire more teachers and have more classes. That's just the honest truth.
It is.
So, I could sit here and blow smoke, but I'm not going to do that. So the second thing, we always need more teachers, and we may not be able to get you a class immediately, but especially if you are a yoga teacher in a rural area. So we're thinking Northern Colorado, Eastern Plains, Western Colorado, Grand Junction, Montrose. We have a teacher driving Montrose to Grand Junction twice a week to teach a class. That's no joke. Southern Colorado, Trinidad, Pueblo. If you are a yoga teacher in those areas who are interested in working with an organization like Comeback Yoga, we want to hear from you. Again, you can go to comebackyoga.org, and all that information is listed there. If you are a member of the military community who owns a space, who's interested in hosting,
like a jiu-jitsu academy, for example,
like a jiu-jitsu academy, that you already have the military community coming to you and you're interested in hosting one of our classes, let us know. Again, info's on the website, comebackyoga.org. And yeah, we're working on trying to figure out more volunteer opportunities. We're so small and we work remotely, so it's difficult to have like the paper filers, But if you just want to know more about comeback yoga, about why we do what we do, if you have an idea of how you can help, just reach out to us. All of our information is on the website, and we're always willing to answer questions. We answer crazy questions every single week via email. Yeah.
I ask a lot of those.
You usually slide into the DMs though.
Yes. Yeah, I have a tendency to ask some of those. Well, because I mean, this is all new to me. So yeah, I mean, well, new now. It's been 2 years now. It's new word to me. So there's still things I'm learning that I'm like, I don't know how to deal with that one. So yeah.
No, but if any of us are walking around pretending that we know it all, then you probably don't know much. So asking questions is the best way to figure out the answers. And I may not know the answer, but we'll figure it out for you.
When I first got certified, like no joke, like literally, I finished in May, June, something like that. In August, I got asked, hey, would you come out to Maryland and teach a class to a bunch of disabled veterans?
Yeah.
And that's the way it was worded. Disabled veterans. Sure. Absolutely. No problem. That's what I'm all about. I'm going to pimp comeback yoga. We're going to blow this up. It's going to be awesome. And I walked into a room full of people in like wheelchairs and below the waist amputees. And I was like, I was not taught this and I am unprepared, but damn it, we're going to fucking yoga our asses off. Let's go. Everybody grab a mat. You
want it. You figure it out. And that I would say, and I know you'll agree with this. That's why comeback yoga teachers are so spectacular, because when I first started teaching yoga, they teach you a sequence, right? You do this pose, then this pose, then this pose. And I was like, oh, I know this. And I walk into a class and I have the same thing. I'm like, that's a World War II veteran. That guy's sleeping. That guy's jacked. What am I going to do? And we all walk in with no idea, because you don't have to sign up for our classes. I should say that. You don't have to sign up. So we're walking into something that we have no idea. So we have to think of what we're doing on the fly every single time.
One of our listeners right now is a guy named Brady Shoemate, and he runs Ventura for Veterans out of California. And he asked me to come out and do some yoga out there. And I got to teach yoga on the beach, which was awesome. Cool. But I got to teach yoga to a Vietnam veteran who had not left his house in 3 months. Yeah. And he came out for our yoga class. And I was like, there is no greater honor. I was like verklempt through the whole class because it was so cool.
Yeah, what a privilege that he did that and thought you were worth it,
Yeah, I mean, I was like, damn, dude, I'm like, it's an honor to know you. So yeah. Kelly, I could chew up your whole Monday evening going on and on about comeback yoga because I love it so much. And I know obviously One Shot does as well. One Shot, can you hear us okay? I hope we didn't lose him. We might have. Normally, I would pass you off to my hetero life mate, and he would give you the outgoing instructions. But I'm not hearing him right now, so I'm thinking he's having technical difficulties there.
Well, I haven't heard him the whole time.
Yeah, he hasn't popped in any good questions. So that being said, Kelly, the last 2 minutes are all yours, completely uninterrupted. I may have glossed over a question that you wanted us to ask you. I may have skipped over something that you wanted to talk about. We may have not talked about dogs enough. Whatever it is that you want, the platform is yours. 2 minutes. Talk about whatever you want. It's all yours. Go.
Well, first of all, at the top, can I say, if there's any questions, can you throw them in the chat?
Oh, yeah.
So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat and I'll happily hit those. But I just want to say, whether you are driving or sitting at home, listening to this or watching on the computer or whatever, and you think yoga is complete bullshit, Rob and I were there with you. And you know what? For some people, it is complete bullshit. But what we're doing is different. Yoga was 6,000 years ago created for warriors. And it was a breathing exercise so that they could be in their bodies. And it is not about what you see on the news. It's not about having goat yoga or puppy yoga or a six-pack. If you think it's not for you, I ask you to try it 3 times. Just 3 times. Whether it's YouTube or in person, go to Rob's class. Just try it 3 times. And after that 3rd time, you still think it's bullshit? Totally got it. Some things are not for everybody. But if you have given it a shot, that's all I ask. Because we've all been on the meds. That ain't working. We've all been on the booze, and that ain't working. We've been tired. We've been mad. We've been anxious. And none of that is working. So maybe just try one thing different that might work.
You won't be disappointed. Kelly, before I cut you loose, the segment we do immediately after we get rid of our guest is our safety briefing. Do you have anything that you want to add to the safety brief for the end of the show?
I don't think so. I feel like I've talked a lot.
Well, you have, but that's the point of a radio interview. But nothing to keep people safe for the week? It's okay if you don't.
I want everyone, when they feel agitated and upset, because Denver water flooded my basement today, and I got really upset. So if you are feeling angry, upset, or like the world is not like within your control, I want you to take a 4-count inhale. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm adding that to the safety briefing because it keeps you safe and it keeps the people who you're pissed off at safe.
That's very accurate. That's very true.
So that's my safety briefing / challenge is inhale for 4, exhale for 6 for like a minute and see if you feel better. You
will. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Kelly with Comeback Yoga. Whole bunch of upcoming opportunities for fundraisers. You're going to be at Coors Field real soon here, and you should definitely come to see that. You definitely want to come to see Jimmy in the movie. I assure you that's the case. But yeah, all kinds of good community opportunities. Go to comebackyoga.org. Check it out, the class opportunities. Go to YouTube. I learned some of the greatest stuff while I was going through class from YouTube. You can learn anything from YouTube. I learned how to be a banker on YouTube. You can definitely learn yoga on YouTube. So yeah, definitely. Anything else, Kel?
October 23rd is our big fundraiser. You can get tickets. They're $10. We feed you breakfast, and then join us for our yoga and camaraderie, and come out, have a beverage, and say hi.
Kelly, thank you so much for being a part of From the Ashes on About Face Media. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night, and good luck with your basement.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. One shot, are you there, man? Did I lose you? What's up? Did everything fall apart? I mean, dude, what's your deal? You okay? But whatever, man. So it is time for our safety brief. So we're getting really short on time here, and I want to make sure I get off on time. We're going to be running a repeat tonight of PTSD and pageants. Kendra is not able to be there tonight, but that's okay. I'm sure she'll broadcast one of her classic shows. So if you have not tuned into Kendra's PTSD and pageants, you are absolutely missing out. It's an excellent show. There's all kinds of great shows here on About Face Media. You're missing some good stuff. So one of our listeners, we love this. One of our listeners, Holly Miller. If you don't know, Holly Miller and I were deployed together in 03-04. Can't say nothing but good things about this chick. She's a rock star. And we love when folks send in stuff for us to add to the safety brief, because that means that you folks are paying attention, and we like that a lot. So she sent in a video from Mandatory Fun Day, and the way the video went, it was, we may not be from the same sack, but I've always got your back. And I was like, I'm not sure I'm totally grooving on that. on that pronunciation of that, but hey, whatever, man. So yeah, good stuff. But yeah, safety brief. I'm sure One Shot's got something. He hasn't texted me or anything with what his safety brief edition might be. But folks, if you have stuff to add to the safety brief, we'd love to have it. I know we're coming to the end of our time, but please check out our sponsors like Core 3 Drywall out of Castle Rock. You need some drywalling done. That's excellent veteran supporting. They really, really support our veteran community. Please go with them. Our friends with Combat Flip Flops and our friends with Thigh Huggers. By all means, please support those individuals. You can use for thigh huggers, you can use the code one shot and you'll get a 30% discount. Combat flip flops, it's about face and you'll get a 30% discount and we get 15% of that. And they send us checks all the time and we love them. So thank you very much. Really appreciate you guys supporting them. So we're coming to that portion of the show. The Never Forgotten. And last week was a little bit of a train wreck, and my buddy Heidi recommended that we start printing out the Never Forgotten before the show starts. But this one is, kind of popped up last minute. I had a different one, but this popped up last minute. For those of you that don't know, probably about an hour before showtime, we got the word that James Earl Jones had passed. If you're asking yourself, who the heck is that? That is Darth Vader. That is Simba from The Lion King. That is Simba? Yeah, that's whatever his dad's name was. James Earl Jones is an iconic voice. And yeah, he passed just before the show went to air. So James Earl Jones, thank you for those that don't know, he was a commissioned officer in the United States Army. So I'm going to read this. This comes off of his Wikipedia page. With the war intensifying in Korea, Jones expected to be deployed as soon as he received his commission as a second lieutenant. So he's a Korean War vet. As he waited for his orders, he worked on the stage crew and acted at the Ramsdale Theater in Manistee, Michigan. Jones was commissioned in mid-1953 after the Korean War's end and reported to Fort Benning to attend the infantry officer basic course. Here's the important part, folks. He attended Ranger School and received his Ranger tab. Jones is assigned to Headquarters Company 38th Regimental Combat Team. Supposed to go to Fort Leonard Wood, but his unit was instead sent to establish a cold weather training command at Camp Hale near Leadville, Colorado. His battalion became a training unit in the rugged terrains of the Rocky Mountains. Jones was promoted to first lieutenant prior to his discharge. So James Earl Jones today died. That is a veteran. He did not get the opportunity to go to Korea, but he came in during the Korean War. That is a Ranger, and that is Darth Vader, ladies and gentlemen. That really kind of chews me up to even have to say that. Darth Vader is no longer with us. So as we're coming to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for being a part of From the Ashes on About Face Media. You're going to want to tune in next week. Next week, we have the Hunter 7 Foundation. They are going to talk about all of the exposures and the cancers in the veteran community. You are not going to want to miss next week's show. We have the Hunter 7 Foundation coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being a part of From the Ashes on About Face Media. Have a great rest of your night. One shot, man. I hope you can hear all this. And later on, folks.